We're very excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show, Mr. Cody Simpson. Welcome back to the show, Cody.
Thank you so much.
So we're so excited to know that your new album coming out, Surfer's Paradise, on July 16th.
Yeah.
So how did you know that you wanted to keep with the theme? Because it feels like you've had a paradise theme going on.
Well, I thought that, it was actually going to be what we first planned, was to have it just be like a Paradise Part 2.
Okay.
And I wasn't like a huge fan of that idea, because I feel like people would just think it's like a repackage of it. You know what I mean? And it was going to be a lot, the whole thing was new music, obviously, and I wanted it to be another step forward, and I still wanted to stay in the theme, but I also wanted to sort of, over the course of making the album, I really sort of, found my niche and sort of like discovered really like what I wanted to be sort of musically, and I definitely found that I was very heavily involved in the writing process of the album, and I wanted to stay true to myself and sort of my roots and my home and stuff, and I like to sort of represent like my lifestyle sort of in everything I do. And I thought that the Surfer's Paradise thing it's actually a place back home on the Gold Coast where I grew up, and I thought it was a great way for me to incorporate that, and also the title definitely reflects like the sound of the music that's on there. So yeah.
Now, when it comes to the first single, Pretty Brown Eyes, how did you know that was going to be the one to lead off everything?
It was funny because like me and my manager Matt, we were the only two that actually like really liked that song. My record label like wasn't sure about it, and I said like, this is just like, we have to go with it. I loved it. I thought it was like the perfect sort of pop. It's sort of like the most like poppy. There's a couple on there that sort of sound kind of similar, but I wanted to sort of come with something that I knew would be perfect for summer.
Okay.
But also stayed in the vibe. So I mean, I just thought it was cool. So.
Now, when it comes to being on stage, obviously you have grown as a performer because you keep doing shows. You've been on tour with Justin. What's it like being on stage in these big arenas? Like, do you perform differently than when you're maybe in front of like 1,000 as opposed to 13,000 people?
Yeah, I definitely, for me, it's like the bigger the better. Like I thrive off of the energy from that big crowd. I think it's the adrenaline really gets me going. I get more nervous, when the crowd's bigger, and that sort of urges me to perform even better. But I've sort of been on tour with Justin Bieber for like a couple months in the US and then in Europe and stuff, and that sort of helped me improve. And I sort of treated every night as like training, like a practice to sort of just get better, and that really prepared me for my own tour. So yeah.
What's it like to have him as it feels like a big brother, because like he's very supportive of you. I've seen him tweet about you on Twitter, and what is it like to have that relationship with someone who's sort of just gone through what you're now going through?
Sort of, it's great. I mean, he's less of like a mentor, more of like just like a friend. There are other artists that I look up to and stuff, and he's sort of like a friend to me, and just a cool guy to be on tour with and stuff. I obviously love his music, and his show is really great and stuff, and it's cool to have someone like that can help support you and understands what you're going through and stuff. Yeah.
What's it like when you are coming up with ideas for songs and stuff? Do you ever picture who you might want to collaborate with in the future?
Sometimes. I sort of, when I'm writing music, I only sort of write like it's going to be just for myself. Like I like for my music to just sort of be me, and that's kind of it. But I do have 2 collabs on the album. One with Ziggy Marley, one with Asher Roth, and I'd love to do more like acoustic collaborations, maybe with like Ed Sheeran and like Jack Johnson and stuff. Would be really cool, because that's sort of where my music is gradually sort of evolving into. So, yeah.
And talk to us about your book, because you have a book coming out October 24th. I think this is really exciting. I understand like it's going to sort of tell your fans who you really are. Is that correct?
Basically, it's I just wanted to sort of tell my story in my own words, sort of the way it happened, and give my fans sort of stories, before people started paying attention, really, and sort of, things that happened before I sort of came onto the scene, and then, sort of stuff that I go through behind the scenes that, I wouldn't necessarily feel the need to like talk about all the time, and just for me to be able to bring them closer to me, and just sort of, help them get to know me a little better. yeah.
I wanted to ask you quickly about school, because last time we spoke, you were sort of being homeschooled, I guess, quote unquote.
Yeah, I'm still homeschooled.
Okay,
Yeah.
how is that going? And do you plan to, because I'm sure you're graduating soon-ish,
Yeah.
high school.
Next
Do you
year.
want to continue any sort of education, or really focus on career after you're done with high school?
I'm not sure. It's not something that I really thought about. I thought I just want to get through high school first. And I've got less than a year left, I think. I'm graduating early.
Okay.
Just because I've sort of been doing it. I haven't really had the summer breaks the past 2 years. So,
Get her done.
yeah, get it done, get through it, and then hopefully just focus on the music for a little bit. And you never know what I might want to do later on. There might be something that I'm interested in studying, so we'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cody, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
joining
much.
us on the show.
Thank you. Hey, this is Cody Simpson, and you're hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.